Well, the 2022 American International Motorcycle Expo is officially in the bag. For those that don't know what the AIM Expo is, the convention is a platform for key brands, manufacturers, dealers and distributors, media outlets, and influencers to engage, learn, and discuss important issues in the powersports industry. Basically, a giant networking event for all involved. Now, I've only attended one AIM Expo before, and that was in 2018. Apparently, the 2018 Expo set my expectation bar pretty high, as it was the expo that, to this date, attracted the most attendees in the event's history. Since the general public is excluded from attending this event, our short coverage here will give you insight into what goes on the show floor. Despite companies like Ducati, KTM, and BMW posting record sales figures for almost 2 years, in terms of manufacturer turnout, this show was a shadow of the one I attended in 2018. The booths from Harley, Indian, KTM, BMW, Honda, Kawasaki, and Yamaha were all glaringly missing. Now, obviously we're still dealing with the lingering pandemic and its disruptive effects on our social interactions. I'm sure a few manufacturers decided to opt out for this very reason. We've also become accustomed to doing things virtually now. We don't need to be in each other's presence to actually get work done. Another factor could simply be the necessity. When brands are selling bikes and products faster than they can get them in stock, why fix something that isn't broken, right? Either way, it felt amazing to be around fellow riders and moto enthusiasts again. While we were initially there to check out some new gear, make some new friends, and see some old faces, it was also an opportunity to get an inside peek at the challenges dealers and manufacturers are currently facing with supply chain issues and consumer demand, in addition to hearing them discuss industry forecasts and trends.
What's going on, everyone? Brady and Sean here from Moto Apes. Say hello, Sean.
Hi.
We're at the Las Vegas Convention Center here in Las Vegas, Nevada. AIM Expo is happening. That's the American International Motorcycle Expo, in case you didn't know.
Can't wait to see the new Zeros. We're going to head in pretty soon right now, go to a private viewing for all of the new Zero motorcycles, coffee and pastry. I'm going to start this day off with some coffee and pastry because I'm still not awake.
I like pastry.
We partied pretty hard last night in Las Vegas. That's how we do it.
I mean, that's the way it rolls, right?
I think that's why I'm starting to look a little older in the face.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, guys, let's head in.
All right, we're going to head in. Let's do it.
One of those trends is in electric mobility. From electric scooters and bikes to e-powered motocross bikes and full-size street and adventure machines, the technology has graduated its infancy. It is now pushing into the future with a fury. Our first stop of the day was catching up with Dan Quick at Zero Motorcycles.
Hey, we're here with Dan Quick from Zero Motorcycles. Dan, how you doing today?
Living the dream, man.
Tell us a little bit about what's new here, what's going on.
Well, what's new is electric motorcycles are taking the stage full force at AIM Expo. We're happy to be, headlining an education series for dealers, but we're also really happy to be showcasing what is the largest all-electric, full-size, street-legal motorcycle lineup in the world. We're the longest-running all-electric motorcycle manufacturer, which is funny. I mean, that's cool to say, but at the same time, it's also like saying you're the tallest kindergartner, because the reality is there's a lot of folks out there who are still surprised to hear that electric is an option. So that's why we brought out all 9 models, even 2 fleet and agency police models, to really showcase what electric has become over the last 15 years. There are some pretty consistent questions that enthusiast riders have had historically about what electric can offer. And I would say that they can be boiled down to the really easy, like how far does it go, how fast does it go, how much is it, how long does it take to charge, those types of things. And there have been a few thresholds that we've noticed in our history that really have signaled a legitimization of the category. And that was like, 100-mile range. That was one of the first big thresholds. 100 miles an hour of speed, hour charging. Can I charge it faster than overnight? And those are all thresholds that I'm happy to say, we've satisfied years ago. But then if you start looking at what's available now, we were talking about doing the backcountry discovery route in Colorado. That's 1,000 miles of some of the gnarliest, most remote riding available in the Rockies. We got a couple of guys who just did it on 2 Zero DSRs, and it was a hell of an adventure. Just like you can do on, your favorite gas adventure bikes. Just takes an element of planning that maybe you're not accustomed to.
Right. Now you guys have new. I'm seeing the screen over here. You guys have new technology coming out on this model here.
Yeah, dripping with technology. The cool thing is, it's a brave new world out there. And when you start talking about motorcycle customization, which is obviously super important, powersports enthusiasts to motorcyclists everywhere. When you take out all of the the componentry of an internal combustion gas engine, that doesn't mean that you also take out that appetite for customization. But the cool thing is, when it's all zeros and ones, the sky's the limit. So what we've done is last year, towards the end of the year, we launched, and it's still in beta. It'll be out hopefully in the next month or so. The entire what we call Cypher Store upgrade suite of options. So just to take a step back, all of our motorcycles, the components are, there's a battery, there's a motor, and there are a few elements like motor controllers and whatnot and chargers that kind of interact with those two main components. In order to orchestrate all of those new products, it requires basically an operating system, much like any advanced computing element. So our operating system is the Cypher operating system, and our latest edition of that is the Cypher 3 Plus. With that new operating system comes access to a total suite of on-demand, one-time purchase. They're not like subscription or paywall or anything, but on-demand, over-the-air updates that you can select from your phone and have them go immediately into your motorcycle. Wow. That means extra range, available at the touch of a button. That means extra speed and performance. You can actually increase the horsepower and torque available, in your existing motor, in the existing hardware, and other types of feature like usability upgrades, like a slow speed forward and reverse for parking if you have a really tough spot, or I live in San Francisco, if you're on a bad hill, 23% grade.
That never happens.
Yeah, exactly. And even turn-by-turn on-screen navigation. So that's just the beginning of what we expect to be a long line of available on-demand upgrades.
So you can literally upgrade your performance to your motorcycle through your phone into your bike.
Absolutely. So historically, we've always been able to change ride modes, which meant that you could, increase or decrease the amount of active battery regeneration. That meant that you could change the levels of speed and power and torque if you wanted a more economical for the battery extended range riding experience, or if you wanted to be all open, carving canyons, just all sport, no neutral regen or anything, and you could always do that on the fly, which was already pretty cool because that's effectively engine tuning mid-ride. But now, in addition to that, which still exists, you can actually increase the capacity of the battery's capabilities. So you can extend your range, you can go faster and get there much more quickly. Again, just all within the tips of your fingers.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's amazing stuff coming out. I can't wait to walk around and get a better look at these bikes. And
I can't wait to get you on one.
I'm very excited to get on one.
Awesome.
I would love to check one of these things out.
Yeah, we'll get it done. Thanks, man.
Thank you very much, Dan. It's great talking with you.
Sounds good.
Tucker Powersports, a leading distributor in the powersports industry with brands like Speed and Strength, First Gear, Bike Master, Quad Boss, and Pro Taper under their umbrella, were there representing some new products as well as some new suppliers in the electric mobility market.
Welcome. Really excited, as I said earlier, really excited to be back at a show in person and back in the industry. I think it's a big step forward for us all, whether we're in or out of masks. This business is really about the passion and enthusiasm that our dealer network brings to the consumer, and it's really important to be here and help each other grow that. So I'm really excited to be here. Tucker overall, we're here with 3 presences. We have this present for on-road and V-twin. We have 2 more booths towards the back, one for our e-power collection and one for our off-road collection with Quad Boss and Pro Taper and Answer. So I encourage you to make your way through. The team's going to walk you through everything, but first I'd like to introduce a few people, starting with Andrea Wieke, who's our Senior Director of Marketing and House Brands. Brad Turner, who's back there, our VP of Sales, and Monique Whitney, who is our VP of Supply Chain, is also here. So if you have any questions or concerns about the ins or outs of Tucker, they'd all be more than happy to help you. Overall, Tucker has had 2 fantastic years. Obviously, the last couple of years for the whole industry have been great. Here at Tucker, we've been investing in growth for the future. And we're investing in new segments with snow and water and e-power, and we're investing in new product lines as well. And so the team's going to walk you through that. So I'm going to hand over to Andrea, and thank you for being here.
Taper was there showcasing their new ACF handlebars.
So our main focus for this show is our new ACF handlebar. ACF stands for aluminum carbon fiber, which you can see here. So what we've done with this handlebar is we've incorporated 110 millimeters of carbon fiber into the end of the bar. One, it's 20% lighter than our normal Evo handlebar. Also reduces vibration as well. In addition to that, what we're calling our Control Plus is we've added, as you see where it's mounted here, the bar comes up a little bit quicker to allow for more control space. So as if you can see on the bike here, there's so many controls on the bikes with mapping and kill switches, electric starts, and everything else. So we've added 40 millimeters of control space for added features for the bar. We are introducing this in 4 different bends, 4 of our more popular bends. So CR High, Henry Reed, Carmichael, and SX Race. Retail on it will be $139.99, and we are the first handlebar company to incorporate a carbon fiber insert into an aluminum handlebar. There is some competitive bars that have carbon fiber. We're not there yet, but we are inserting the carbon fiber into the end of the handlebar. Some of our top guys have been using it. Jeremy Martin's been using it for a while now. We've done a lot of testing. The riders seem to really enjoy the handlebar. Like I said, not only is it lighter, but it also reduces the vibration in the end of the bar as well. In addition to that, we have our whole product offering behind me here. Our Sella device, which we launched last year, was the self-engaged launch assist. So we were the first company to basically introduce a whole shot device that you can use by yourself. You don't need any outside assistance to handle it. You see behind me, so all of our different bends are here. We have our Fusion handlebars, our Evos, our Contours, our SCs. In addition to that, we have our Pro Taper Sport line, which we have some handlebars and grips in that line as well. But getting back, our main focus for this show is the ACF handlebar, that's going to be available starting today.
How's it going, guys? So this is our new Fantic line. So we're carrying the Fat Bike this year for 2022. It's got 1.5 or 150 millimeters of travel for the suspension. It's a hardtail. It's the only hardtail we offer. We also are picking up the Urban 7-day living bike that's behind it. Same 150 millimeters of travel. Also, we have the kick scooter new for this year. It's got a $9.99 retail. Dual motor, 500 watts of power. About 15 miles is your range on that. And then for the extreme mountain bike guy, we got the 2.0 factory over here. It's got the full Olin suspension, 200 millimeters of travel, so it is for the extremist that wants the maximum travel as there is. And then if we move on to the Istimo, it's more for your city kind of riding. $42.99 retail. Comes in 2 different frame sizes. And that's pretty much what's new from Fantic.
Hey, I'm Cooper from Minimotors USA. Today we brought some scooters to check out. We've got 3 brands under the Minimotors umbrella. Dualtron, sort of the widely regarded most premier electric scooter out there. Speedway, they're more introductory level. And then Bluetran, which is a brand new model, sort of slotted right in between, still really high performance, like 50 plus miles an hour on an electric scooter. We've got scooters that start kind of introductory level at about $1,049, go all the way up to just under $7,000 for our price point. And you're looking at single motor, rear driven with a single drum brake, all the way up to dual motor, fully hydraulic brakes with 84 volt systems, pushing 45 amp hour packs. So we've got scooters with 10,050 watts to the motor. We've got scooters with 11,000 watts to the motor, and anywhere in between.
Hey guys, how you doing? So my name's Ethan. I'm with Ubco. So Ubco stands for Utility Bike Company. So we manufacture lightweight electric adventure vehicles. We've been around for about 5 years now in 5 countries. The brand originated in New Zealand, is where it all started. So if you think about old farm bikes, dairy farming, ags, Honda CT90s, that's where it all started. We've morphed the brand now globally into, again, electric adventure vehicles. We have multiple models. So we have an adventure and a work. This is our adventure model. It's an actual street legal VIN vehicle. So it has a full VIN on it. You can register it as a moped. You can register as a motorcycle depending on the state. All the vehicles are 2-wheel drive, which is really unique. So normally in the motorcycle world, you don't have a two-wheel drive vehicle. The beauty of why we can do that is because electric motors are hub motors. You can't do that necessarily with a chain. So that's our adventure vehicle here. This is our work vehicle. So it's very similar to our adventure, but it's stripped down and it's off-road only. So the people who are buying these right now, these are adventure seekers, RV owners, overlanders, people who want to go hunting, someone who owns 10 plus acres, someone who owns an orchard. It's really kind of back to comparisons to the old Honda CT series days. Super lightweight, approachable utility vehicles that just about anybody can ride. And that's how electric is kind of changing power sports. It just makes it a very approachable vehicle type. The brand, what we're doing right now, we've been in market for about 5 years. We're now working with Tucker on a national distribution strategy to really get more vehicles out there and faster. So you'll be seeing us work in a variety of the states in the US, launching with them. We have more products coming out. If you see some of the stuff up on the screens, we have another one coming out called the FRX1. That'll be coming out sometime, 12, 18 months, not specific on it right now. But that really hits on taking our 2x2 platform and adding more adventure and more power. But it's still not going into that full motocross segment. It's really that kind of cross between powerful mountain bikes, powerful dirt bikes, approachable vehicles that have a lot of power and a lot of torque. So if someone really likes this part of our brand, but they're like, yeah, I just want more power, more adventure, I kind of am more of that moto person, that's where that FRX1 product comes into it. So that's what we're doing. The company's Ubco. Do you guys have any questions?
RAM mounts are usually the first that come to mind when thinking of camera and phone mounts for our bikes, but PanaVise was there to stake their claim.
Yeah, so the company's name is PanaVise. We've been around since 1956, and what we're displaying here is all our power sports and action camera mounts. We have suction cup mounts that can hold your phone, suction cup mounts that can hold your action cameras, handlebar mounts that can do both as well, phone or action camera. And we even have a center stem for the sport bikes that will hold your phone for you. Everything you see here is under $50 retail, except for this guy here. This is $64.99. Everything's backed by a lifetime warranty, and anything that looks like plastic is actually glass-filled nylon. We do vibration testing, shock testing on it, and basically the reason we offer that lifetime warranty is because it's been hard for us to break it and our engineers to break it. So we have trust in our product behind that. The two hottest selling items are going to be this year. Our 13255, which is a large handlebar mount that holds your phone. A ton of Harley dealerships sell this, and our smaller one that's made specifically for sports bikes. It's going to be our 13225. This handlebar mount will fit 7/8 of an inch to 1 1/4 inches, and then this one will fit 1 1/4 inches to 2 inches. Okay, so once you put your phone in, it's got a ratcheted feel to it, which you can feel the strength when you tighten down on your phone. Foam insert on the back so it doesn't scratch the phone, and then rubber inserts over here to help grip the phone. When you want to take your phone out, quick release, pop that phone out. You want to charge your phone, plug in some wires, you can move the feet around, or if your phone's bigger, you can actually move the feet inward, drop that phone down, and then crank down here. And again, quick release on the left, all for easy access.
The show floor featured a few mom and pop vendors, one of which stuck out, Helmet Flair. Flair for your helmet, magnetic ears and horns. Pretty fun. Helmet communications staple Cardo was there, demoing their new gear.
Hey guys, Mike Cardo here, obviously out here at AM Expo, Las Vegas. Couple new things, couple new products, two lines. The Spirit line, Spirit HD, and the Freecom 2X, Freecom 4X. These are brand new, designed on the outside and the inside, so everything's completely new. We're talking over-the-air firmware updates, USB Type-C charging, Bluetooth 5.2. I mean, really packing everything today into today's units. So, Spirit starts at $99, Spirit HD 150, 209, 269. That rounds out our entry and mid-level units, and from up there we go to the Pack Talk stuff. That's the cutting edge mesh, really setting the new frontier for this wireless headset communication world. So thanks for checking it out.
Industry stalwart SW Motech showcased their new soft luggage, waterproof tank bags, and other accessories.
Hey guys, Sean here from Moto Apes. I'm here with Thomas from SW Motech. He's going to talk to us about some of their new offerings for 2022.
Yeah, so we'll go through some of the new offerings. We are well known for a lot of ADV products, as we can see here, a lot of hard cases. But exciting, this year we've come out with a soft luggage line for our carriers, which we have on most adventure bikes right here. We call them the Pro Carriers. They're quick release, they can pop off. For the first time, we now have full-size adventure soft luggage, and we'll check them out right over here. Yeah, this is the Sysbag WP for waterproof line of soft luggage. So we have small, we have medium, and we have the large. The first two sizes, the small and the large, they work on the SLC style carrier, and the large one holds up to 40 liters and runs on the Pro Carrier rack system, which is the same one you see over there with the hard luggage. So that's new for 2022. It's a big step for us to come out with this new luggage. We want to be one of the top dogs in soft luggage now. So we've also continued to expand our line of tank bags. We make waterproof tank bags. Obviously we make all kinds of different tank bags, but we've been expanding it into a waterproof tank bag. And we have these new ones. This one is a great one for any kind of dual sport where it's a little bit smaller. It has this closure that comes down with a magnet that pops.
That's cool.
Pretty cool. You got your little clear thing on the top where you can stick phone in there, what have you, and then you have an adjustable divider, just enough room for all your essentials. So now we have a total of 4. This would be our 4th one. Also fully waterproof.
Nice.
This works off the Pro Ring system, which mechanically pops on and off of the bike, so you can run in and gas station or what have you, and pops in and off, on and off. So this is a different one.
On your soft luggage, is this all roll top, waterproof?
Yes. Yeah, it's roll top. This is all made of TPU material, like a dry bag or a tarp or a raft would be made out of.
Nice.
And it's all roll top, 100% waterproof. We've got this kangaroo pouch right here. We've got little cool features like this right here. You got a zipper.
Oh yeah.
The zipper's also, that whole pocket is still 100% waterproof.
Awesome.
You got Molly, you can add more pouches on the outside, reflective details. You've got these little red things here, little loops. You can tie our accessory locks through them.
Oh yeah.
So you can put a cable lock through it and lock up your stuff. We've also come out with a toolbox. In the past, people have used the tool tube or the farm tractor little tube that's waterproof. Well, now we have this system that works inside the Pro Carrier, and it actually locks with a matching lock, so you can have the same lock on your luggage as you do on your toolbox.
Oh wow.
So this is all matching.
Oh, that's
locks.
great.
So those are our new products. We've also got mirrors for sport bikes. So here we have the new adjustable mirrors. These things mount to the stock posts of any bike. It comes with different adapters in case you have a different type of bike and has a different type of post. And then you have 30 millimeters of adjustment this direction as well.
Cool. Of the major manufacturers conspicuously missing, Triumph wasn't one of them.
Yeah, hey guys, super happy to be here at the AIM Expo. We have a lot of great bikes on display. They actually happen to be the bikes that are currently doing a nationwide and Canadian dealer tour. We call it the Sneak Peek Tour. We did it last year, decided to build upon it a little bit. So I have trailers going dealer to dealer around the country with all the new bikes that actually aren't in dealerships yet. So right behind me you see some of the new Tiger 1200 bikes. I have the all new Tiger 1200 GT and Rally models. And then off over here, I'm sure the camera's gonna go follow you when I'm not talking to you, but we have the all-new Tiger Sport 660 and Speed Triple 1200 RR. So those are some of the newest models to the Triumph family, and they're on tour right now. So if you're going to be in one of those cities, please go visit your local dealership and check those bikes out.
It's not that often you get to sit down with an actual industrial designer behind a significant product. But Jan Saylor, the man behind the revised Kathmandu and Kilimanjaro jackets from First Gear, was there to give us some insight into the thought process that went into the redesigns for versions 2.
Yeah, so I wanted to incorporate the base layers into our product line because the old First Gear garments had zip-out thermal layers, and I felt like that kind of added too much bulk to the jacket. And you know, looking at a bunch of different markets like hiking and ski sports and all that stuff, you base layer up, and it makes sense to kind of merge that into the motorsports market and allow people to kind of pick and choose what they want to wear as a warm layer underneath. We provide 2 different thickness of fabric, and one of them is kind of your typical spandex material, and it's light and it's moisture wicking. And then we have the mid-tier one, which allows a lot more air space in between, so you stay warmer. And they're branded under First Gear, and yeah, you wear that in combination with the jacket. So you know, the Kilimanjaro and the Kathmandu have always been First Gear's best sellers for the past, I think, 15 years or so. And so we didn't want to create a new jacket line, but rather take the current stuff and all the best parts of them and implement them into the new one. So I mean, if you look at this new design and compare it to the old design, you'll see a lot of patterns that kind of connect the two. So there should be hopefully some familiarity between the two. So the original stuff, I spent quite a bit of time listening to the users and reading comments on Revzilla or going to dealerships and asking them kind of pain points with the pre-existing product. And you know, there's a long list of things that are great about it, but there's also, you know, a handful of things that must be addressed and taken care of. And specifically, like, my favorite comment that I read was that the Kathmandu pockets hold more water in them than it keeps out, which is kind of a big deal if you're advertising a waterproof jacket. So I wanted to address these things, and so we switched the fabric over. We are using Textiland and Samtex fabric and Sympatex fabrics, and they are DWR coated, so if you get caught in a light drizzle, it's going to roll right off. And if you're in a torrential downpour, that's what the waterproof, 100% waterproof liners are to go. They zip in inside and out of it. And for the waterproofing material, it's a taffeta that's PU backed, and then we have it fully seam sealed. And you'll notice that there's kind of like along the seams of everything, there's tape on there. That's seam sealing, and that'll keep the moisture out 100%. And those zip in and out of the jacket. Now, my goal with this jacket was to do the seam sealing on the shell fabric so that no moisture comes in through it. But you know, with being in crazy times and development times being scrunched down, really, we had to make compromises. But you know, that's something I'm hoping for the future that we can address further and potentially get rid of some of those waterproof liners and you know, really have a jacket that you can say is fully 100% waterproof. With just from the shell standpoint and not with the liner included. I mean, with the Kathmandu jacket, some things that you'll notice is the cargo pockets that are different to the Kilimanjaro jacket, and this just allows ample amounts of space for you to stow gloves or your liner if you don't want to be using it, to put it in like the back pocket here. We added a bunch of reflectives to it and just kind of spiced up the design a little bit. You'll notice some of the padding in the elbow region and the shoulders. That's something that we borrowed from the original Kathmandu, so hopefully you'd make that connection and see those design cues and know, oh, that's a Kathmandu jacket. We introduced the new sand colorway as opposed to the old Quicksilver or gray or whatever you want to call it, light gray look. Yeah, we talked about switching over to SaskTech armor. It's much more affordable than D3O, especially with price increases these days. That way you can go to the dealership and buy the jacket and have all the armor incorporated without having to come back and buy new sets of armor. I would probably say my favorite part of the jacket is just like the small details, like adding in like this the shock cord system on the neckline, because I've noticed that like when I ride and I get cold, a lot of the times it's because of my neck. And normally I will wear a neck gaiter when I ride, but this provides an extra seal around the neck when you pull it, and you might like wonder, is that going to cause unnecessary amounts of tension on the Adam's apple area? And so our way around that was actually using a magnet instead of a snap, and those magnets can fold open versus you having to snap it or tack it down or open up your jacket and hope that these things don't flap all around. And then also lowering the zipper and how high the zipper comes up, because you know, even though it makes sense to have that full seal, your Adam's apple is going to thank you for not doing that. And so I think that's a really interesting new feature by incorporating magnets, which is like a very small feature, but putting zipper garages on everything really does make a difference from getting little droplets of moisture. And Yeah, obviously, I'm sure you noticed the branding update. We have the Spartan logo now versus the old first gear, and which I think it's cool. I think it's a good bridge between multiple generations, and definitely like kind of brings a little bit of life and spice to the brand image. So I've been a fan of it. I thought that they did a really good job with that. So the pants, we wanted to focus on compartmentalization and pockets, and just like accessing your pants underneath there. So like you can open up your zippers and get your hands down into your like jeans you would potentially be wearing underneath there much easier than the old Kathmandu pants. And we also got the 45-degree side pockets, so while you're riding and your legs are up, and instead of trying to awkwardly dig down in there, they're conveniently to your sides so you can easily get to it. And the feature I really like about these pants is the quad zip for ventilation. This thing opens up all the way from your crotch area down to the outside of your knee, and the Velcro folds in on itself after you open it, so it forces it open, keeps it open, which is a pretty neat feature. And also our cuff to hip side zippers allows you to wear boots and open those up all the way and slip your boots into the pants without having to take that stuff off.
While it was a bummer as an enthusiast to not see all the new bikes in person as we did a couple of years ago, the takeaway from this event was this: the future looks bright for the motorcycle industry. Where it seemed all doom and gloom just a few years ago, the numbers are in. The industry has seen its highest sales levels in a decade. Due to some strategic shifts by the bike makers, newer, more affordable entry-level bikes are finally attracting the new riders the business failed to a few years back. In the following months, the manufacturers have to manage the effects of the inflation acceleration, at the highest now in 40 years, on customer demand and the production cost increase for components like iron, aluminum, carbon, and electronics. But for now, things are certainly looking on the up and up. The pandemic could surely be driving a lot of this as well. When people are down and out, they yearn for fun. And well, what's more fun than riding a bike? Here's hoping the trend is here to stay.